Digitalisation. Right now, joining us via telephone, we have Oriyomi Ogunwale. He's the team lead for EduPlanner. Hello, Oriyomi. Are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, nice to have you join us on the conversation this morning, and happy International Education Day.
Wow. Thank you very much. I wish you the same.
All right.
Because we are all learning everything.
Oh yes, we are. Oh yes, we are. So let me ask you, Oriyomi, do you right now we're in 2021. The budget for 2021 has been passed. We all have virtually all the details as regards the budget. Are you satisfied with what has been allotted to the educational sector for the year 2021 by the Buhari-led administration?
I know, like the speaker in the studio now mentioned, the budget is still very, very low. And the Buhari administration has not been doing enough when it comes to addressing education in Nigeria. When you look at funding in terms of percentage to the budget, in the last 5 years, you tend to see it's a single digit, unlike the previous administration that did 10%. So this is one of those things you look at. So when COVID happened last year, one of those things you think a government like the Buhari administration would do is to say we need to invest more. Let's pretend that we couldn't do that in the 2020 budget. Okay. So for the 2021, you expect that to be addressed. But it's shocking that even with the TED fund being included in this year's education budget, we are still getting 8.56%, which makes it 1.164 trillion. When you remove the TED fund, you are looking around 840 something billion, which is very, very poor. You are saying something that is going to be allocated to agencies, something allocation to basic education, which is UBEC, allocation to all the federal universities, polytechnics, College of Education, Unity Schools. So it's very, very poor actually, and it's sad to see that in a COVID year, the federal government is neglecting education funding. And just like my colleague mentioned in the studio, what you discovered is that we are playing with fire here, because we have over 10 million out-of-school children before COVID, as of 2018. Now, with the advent of COVID now, just like she mentioned, kids are not going back to school. Schools need to be reviewed. They need to practice social distancing. They need wash facilities. These things are not available. So parents do not want to send their kids back to school. And it's a danger, because what it means is we are going to have more out-of-school children, which, I don't know, it might skyrocket to as high as 15 million or even, say, 20 million. Which is not something we want as a nation. So for me, the budget did not address the current COVID-19 crisis. And you know how important funding is to any sector in Nigeria. It shows your priority. It shows what you want to do in your administration.
All right.
If this is the funding,
now
we are not getting much from the administration.
I want to know which is more pressing, the poor allocation of funding to the educational sector, or proper implementation of that which has been allocated? Because Adeleke did point out that we have beautiful policies, beautiful plans, but those plans are never truly actualized because of poor implementation. So which is worse? Poor allocation or poor implementation as far as education is concerned?
So this is my take actually. You know, we as EduPlanner, for example, what we intend doing is to monitor the education plan.
Okay.
Do you understand? So there's what we call the education MSP, the Education Action Plan. and it details what each administration plans to do during their tenure, and which is what we intend starting very soon, later this year. What you discover is we are not implementing the action plan in Nigeria. It's like there's a policy, there are beautiful campaign promises. Then once they get elected into office, it's like it's set aside, and they start doing what I call plus and minus in the budget. So when it comes to allocation and implementation, you discover that we don't even implement up to 50% of what is allocated in the budget yearly. You still dragging, projects are not implemented. So aside from paying salaries, which can also be owed, because when you look at the teacher scheme, you see people reaching out to us and saying you have not been paid for 2-3 months. And so also other universities, other MDs in the education sector. You look at the capital part of the budget, projects are not implemented. You see a situation where in 2020, you're still implementing a project of 2017, 2018.
Wow.
So implementation is very, very poor. And you know how it works. At the end of the year, if a certain money is not used, they say they want to recycle it, they put it in the next budget. So that is one of it's the bigger issue that affects the education sector more.
Okay, Mr. Oriyomi, my question or my concern is about having more kids continue, schooling and continue learning. So I want to ask, what is the place of digitalization or digital innovation in ensuring that we curb the number of out-of-school children in this time? What is the place of digitalization and digital innovation? How do we use that to curb, the number of out-of-school children that we are having, especially in this part of the world?
Okay, so for me, it's basic. So what is digital? Digital is radio, TV. Now we have internet, we have social media, we have apps. Now, what we can do actually is for the government, the state government, to begin to see how they can implement digital learning on, say, radio. Because when you talk of TV, there needs to be electricity. And when you go to the rural areas, you're not even equipped with that yet. So one of those things that we did last year was to monitor digital learning across Nigeria. And what we discovered was that we can only confirm 23 states and the FCC that actually implemented digital learning. That's via radio or TV.
Okay.
So that means we're having 13, 14 states.
Still outstanding.
Implement digital learning at all. So those are challenges that you look at. And what it means is that learning is about interest. You see situations when we visit some states sometimes, kids do not want to go to a particular school because it's not looking beautiful anymore.
Yeah. All right.
Once a child stops going to school, the interest drops.
Yeah.
When the interest drops, he or she finds any other thing to ensure that he's engaged for a day. And that's what results in out-of-school children. Now, if we cannot keep their interest through radio or TV, what that means is that the number of out-of-school children will continue to increase.
Wow.
And that is what COVID-19 has now brought up to the fore.
All right. Mr. Oriyomi Ogunwale, thank you so much for making that time to be with us. Truly, time is not our friend, and we know that there's so much to be said as far as the educational sector in Nigeria and across Africa is concerned. We hope that when we do call on you again, you will oblige us with your presence.
No problem, sir. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
All right, as we quickly wrap up, Adeleke,